Hello, ninth grade. It's Mr. Applequist. We are working on our super-powered picture today. We've got our guy with his laser eye beams. He's shooting an explosion right now. Today we're going to put something in the explosion. We're going to make a frying a bird that's flying by. I've given you guys a couple different templates for what you can choose for the bird. So that I will leave up to you, but I'm going to choose one bird and make a picture of it and then insert it over here. So first what we want to do is actually organize our layers. We got a lot of stuff going on right here. We got a lot of stuff labeled rectangle, path, so we don't want it all to be the same. So let's try and break down our picture right now. I'm going to just do one I-beam at a time. I'm going to group that together and call that right eye. For me, looking at him, it's his right eye, so I'm just going with that. And this one I will make the left eye because it's the left eye from my perspective. Not sure why it's trying to include the other eye, but that's fine. We're just going to include them as eyes. I was going to try and do them separately. It could be a glitch where I need to reopen and close it. Since it's not bothering any of this, I'm just going to call it laser eyes. Laser eyes. Now this we want to group together. We want these to both be explosion. So we'll call that. No, we don't want laser eyes with that. Okay. So we just want that to be one explosion. So we're going to group that too and call that explosion. Call it green explosion if you want. I'm just calling it explosion. Like I said, mine looked a little different yesterday because I had to just catch up and do this really quickly before I made the tutorial. So now we want to import a picture. But first, we're actually going to make a new canvas. I think it might be easier to work on a separate canvas making this picture. So I'm just made an 8.5 by 11, and I'm importing one of the pictures. I just went to this icon at the top, the import pictures. Should have downloaded the picture of the pigeon already. And I'm just going to choose this guy right here. Wait for it to load. Something's gone wrong. Oh, there we go. Just a little glitch in the matrix. I think it's all fine now. So what I want to do is, just like we did with our fruit bowl, I'm just going to lay some shapes on top of it to try and copy it. I could make a path and outline it if I want, but I think I'm just going to try and make some rectangles and convert them. I like doing it that way. So let's try. So I'm making a rectangle, and I'll bring down the opacity on it. And I'm going to make it black, I think. At least dark gray. Because I want it to look like a burnt bird. I want it to look like a fried chicken almost. It's going to be pretty cartoony, hopefully. So I'm going to convert it. And now I'm going to hit D on the selection. So now I can just start adding new points to it. Like I said, if you want to just trace the outline of it, you can do it that way. I like doing it this way. I think it kind of just gives me a little more creative freedom. And I'm just following the edge of this bird, dragging stuff in when I think it should be, adding new points that I think would work. I'm going to turn the lock on that so it won't happen again. I accidentally selected the background. Doing it like this is the way that I think that makes the most sense. If you want to instead go back and trace the outline of it, that's fine. I'll show you guys how to trace it actually afterwards. I just want to show you my way first of how I would do it. I like doing it this way because I feel like I can skip more steps, I think. Just include the parts that I want to. When I'm tracing it, I feel like I have to outline every little piece of it. When I'm doing it this way, I feel like I can jump around to the parts I think are more important. And it already has this shape that I'm manipulating instead of waiting for it to form its shape like it does with a path. I'm just kind of making these little digs into the wings. So let's bring up the opacity on this. And I'm going to copy and paste it, Control C. And I'm going to go back to my other superpowered picture. I'm going to click the explosion and I'm going to hit Control V. So hopefully it would go above it. It looks like it did on the layers menu. It brought it above it. So we're going to hit V to move this around. I want to pick it up and move it and actually shrink it down a little bit. So I'm going to shrink it down by the corner. And I'll put it right here. So I'm not in love with the way that the wings look. I can try and manipulate that. But you guys can put anything you want into the center. That's just a suggestion. If you wanted to, like, go back, let's see. I could delete this and actually just copy the bird exactly as a path. So let's try doing that. So we're going to go to the path tool up here, or we can just hit P for path. And this one I'm just going to brush through pretty quickly. Just going along the edge of it. I'm not going to mess with the feet. We can draw those in afterwards if we want. I think it would be easier to draw them in than actually trying to make them there. And I think they're secondary. You don't notice them as much as you do the wings, the body. So this is, again, where it's how detailed do you get. It's up to you. I'm going through this quickly because it's tutorial and I want to show you guys one step after the other. It would be, I think, a little tedious watching me do all these different clicks to get around these feathers. I want you guys to do some work at trying to get it around these pictures, around these feathers. Oops. So it's getting difficult because it's a small picture. The closer we get, the more confused it gets. I'm going to delete that point. I'm going to add a new point and drag it. No, see, it won't let me drag it. Undo, undo, undo. Undo, undo, undo. Well, I might just keep it like that. So what I want to do is clip. So I'm going to unlock the background, select both using not my path tool. I want the V for the selection tool. I hit V. I'll delete this path because we don't need that one. And I'm going to select both of them. And I want the picture on top. So put the path below it. Drag the picture on top. Select both. All right, picture on top, path below it. We can still see it below it from the outline. Got them both selected in gray. Then I hit clip. And now I've got my picture of my bird. So now I want to copy this, Control C, and I'm going to paste it over here. I'll delete this bird since I don't like it that much. I'm going to paste this one in. Let's zoom out and see what it looks like. Zoom out. Well, just took it a second. There's a lot going on my computer. I'm screencasting and I'm bringing something to a new document, so I was a little confused for a second. But it looks like it's got the picture. I'm going to shrink this down. Make it a little bit bigger than that, I think. Let's turn off the border. I don't like the border. So what you want to do is click somewhere that's not a button on here and drag it into the trash can. That's how you get rid of something on one of the effects. So we've got our bird being fried by our laser beams. So that's what I did. We did an outline in black. We also did a path in that did copy the picture exactly. You guys can do either one of those options, or you can do something else. You could do a squirrel. You could do like an actual fried chicken, like a fried chicken leg or something, whatever you guys want. So put something in there that's being fried, make it look clean, like it's cut out well. Mine is a little jagged, make it look better than mine, okay? Then you're going to save it. If you want to save a new version of it, you'll go save as if you want to have like both files, but I'm just saving it. You are going to then export it. So it's going to have the same name as your other one. If you want to give it a different name, export it as a JPEG and you can rename it afterwards. All right. So I'm going to export it as a JPEG. And then I'm going to upload that onto Google Classroom